And with that, we can finally give our final thoughts on the case itself. So, I believe in first case, I went first. Second case, I think ESN went first with his thoughts, and you went first with your thoughts on case 3. So I'll pretty much just go first with my final thoughts on Turnabout Goodbyes, and I'll try to keep it short. That way, if there's anything you or ESN wants to add, or then pretty much you'll have a chance. But pretty much for me, case 4, Turnabout Goodbyes. I will admit and everything. I still do love this case for what it is and everything, but I did admit I was a little nervous going in for it, considering that like all the other final cases I've played past this and everything. I thought that maybe this was going to be one of those cases and everything that was still good, but was probably going to be outshined by the others. But I'll be honest, this case is still very fun and everything. This is actually like pretty much for like what was originally the final case of like the first game of Ace Attorney and everything. The team did a real good job in pretty much connecting everything that pretty much we've known from these characters up until this point, and yeah, they really grab you in with that mystery, literally right at the very beginning. Like they've done a really good job of grabbing your mystery at the very beginning, all the way towards the end, and pretty much this case pretty much has like gave a lot of character developments to almost every single character that we met up until this point. I mean, honestly, I think the two main stars in this case that's definitely gotten a really great character development is both Miles and Maya themselves and everything. With Miles and everything, like we pretty much got to see another really side of him that we're slowly going to be seeing in future games. Pretty much the side of learning like how he became a prosecutor to begin with and everything. Pretty much how the whole prosecutor has affected him, not only just himself, but even with Phoenix, and learning like pretty much how Edgeworth's paths pretty much came all together with Phoenix, slowly becoming a defense attorney, which again, that's a plot point we're gonna keep seeing, be brought up and everything in future games and such. And even with Maya too, Maya has definitely shown that like, for all the quirky and like, silly little antics she gets, she is very helpful. There are definitely a lot of great moments. She definitely shine in this case, especially right at the very end. And honestly, the ending with her and Phoenix going their separate ways for a little bit, I think that was a real good ending. I think that was a real good way to at least close up that part on Maya's character, and pretty much get the players, something to look forward to whenever she's ready to come back in the future games and such. And like I said, the mystery itself was a real fun mystery from beginning to end. Pretty much like once we got to like the part with like the bolt shop caretaker, and even trying to figure out who he is, or trying to at least make a connection to him as Yanni Yogi. That was actually pretty fun, and pretty much again, learning from Edgeworth's past and everything. Like this case really does grab you. Like it really does do a good job in grabbing you from beginning to end and everything, making you definitely want to keep on going, making you want to see, where's this mystery going, how is this, definitely going to end and everything. And again, there were a lot of really, good moments, like both in the investigations and the trials itself. Like they both really grabbed you and such. Pretty much, I'm sure Barney's going to mention one of them, so I'll pretty much, save that surprise for him. But for at least me, one of my favorite moments of this case is definitely in the final trial, especially in the DL6 incident itself. That was just pretty much fun from beginning to end, and even seeing like how Phoenix was able to at least try to put together on like what actually happened on that day and everything. So just the only really minor nitpick I have with this case, there's only two and such. One, like I said, the whole idea or scene with like Phoenix showing the letter to Von Karma was pretty stupid and everything, I will admit. It's still a stupid scene no matter what and such. Phoenix really should have seen what was going to happen and such. But at the same time, like, if that didn't happen, then we definitely would not gotten another really interesting little moment with Maya, thinking that, like, she was useless, when in the end, no, she did save the day, as Phoenix says. If she didn't do that quick thinking, then yeah, Von Karma would have gotten away with it. And pretty much the only other nitpick I would have, I did feel like that both Phoenix and Maya kind of really came to like that conclusion of Von Karma being a murderer a little bit too, not necessarily quick, but like it was kind of a little far-fetched that they would just figure it out just like that and such, based on the information that Grossberg would give. But then I guess that, like, the writers couldn't think of any other way to, like, pretty much try to see how can we, make, convince Mark Karma as, like, being the murderer and all that. And pretty much, like, there wasn't really anyone else in the flashback that, like, at least in terms of the viewers, there wasn't anyone in the flashback that the viewers knew about, like, who was actually in the DL6. So it's sort of like, those four. So I guess it did only make sense on, like, how, that pretty much, Maya and Phoenix were going to arrive to the conclusion that, no, Von Karma was a true murderer of DL6 and such. So, overall, as for me, I still enjoy Turnabout Goodbyes for what it is. I still think it's a real good case, really definitely a great case overall in terms of, like, the finale and everything for the first one, and, yeah, that's all I got to say. So, ESM, whenever you're ready to wake up, do you want to give your final thoughts real quick? I think I might have to wake him up again, so... while I do that, go ahead and give your final thoughts on the case real quick while I go wake him up.
Okay, so I don't have too much to say on this case because what can we say about this case that hasn't been said? Honestly, this is by far the best case in this game, at least, and compared to the other games, as far as my memory is concerned, this to me is still my favorite case of out of the original trilogy. There might be another case. That might overshadow it at some point, but for now, this is my favorite case of the entire game. I will say, Von Karma definitely destroyed my vocal cords, and like we said earlier, that's the reason why I asked Azekoa to take over some of the character voices, because I knew the scream was coming. I was preparing myself to do the scream, and well, it was worth it.
It was a good 10.
Go ahead and finish your thoughts real quick.
All right, yeah, I heard what ESM was saying, and yeah, I will admit that it did drag on a little bit too long, but I was still having fun regardless. That was only a minor nitpick I had.
Alrighty. Well, pretty much as ESM stated and everything, he pretty much likes this case as well. What it is just, yeah, with him and work and everything. It's probably going to be happening too as we get to Rise from the Ashes and everything, which again we'll definitely cover more once we get to that case. But yeah, pretty much he had a lot of fun with this case as well too, and such. The trial was fun and such. Just dragged on a little bit long here and there, but pretty much he had his fun, and pretty much I'll go ahead and say his rating is ESM's rating. But for Turnabout Goodbyes, he's given Turnabout Goodbyes a 7 out of 10 and such. So, what about you, Barney? What would you give the final rating for Turnabout Goodbyes?
Without question, my highest rating, 10 out of 10, easily.
Nice. Alright, honestly, yeah, I mean, like, despite the two minor nitpicks and everything, I mean, this case is still fun. I mean, like, even with the second investigation and everything, like, even the second investigation didn't really drag out as long as I felt it did, so... You know what? Yeah, thinking it long and hard, I'm also going to give this a 10. Why not? It definitely does deserve a 10. I can definitely see why this is still a fan-favorite case. I'm on the fence and everything. Because, yeah, like I said, for being the original final case for the first game, it definitely wrapped up a lot of things from the other three previous cases that we know. And it definitely does invite, or at least, gives the players, something to look forward to, and I can definitely see why, a couple players were asking for a sequel and such, or at least, like, definitely gave them, something to look forward to whenever a sequel was getting ready to release for the Game Boy Advance and everything. So, alright guys, well that's our final thoughts on Turnabout Goodbyes. Overall, it was still a good case and everything, still easily to see why it's one of the fan favorites. And like I said, originally, if we were in Japan, and originally we were doing the Game Boy Advance, which somehow had English translations, this would have been the final case of the Game Boy Advance. This would have been the original final case of Ace Attorney. But alas, we still have one more case to do and such. And that last case is the bonus case that, like I said, pretty much starting from the Nintendo DS, will soon be released to every other Ace Attorney re-releases following suit. And pretty much like with the Steel Samurai and everything, this is another case where pretty much it's split among the Ace Attorney fans. Some either like it, some actually like that, like, Pretty much also is another loose ties to another plot point that will get carried on in the next game, and others claim that like it's a little bit pointless. It probably should not have been made to begin with and such. I myself kind of fall more into the former and everything. There's definitely a lot of stuff in that case that I definitely do like, and I can't wait to get to it and everything. But I will admit, it is another case that also does have its faults. I'm definitely very interested to see what both Bonnie and ESM are going to think on that case overall and such.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, go ahead.
I am definitely not looking forward to the next case because I fall into the latter category. As far as my memory is concerned, I barely remember anything from that case aside from one thing. But I'll let you guys let you decide. I'll let you guys try and guess what that memory is.
Alrighty. Alright, well, I mean, hopefully at least a revisit of the case might make you soften it up a little bit, but we'll just wait and see whenever we get to it. But alrighty, guys, well, this has been Sakura the Diesel saying thank you all so much for watching. We're finally done with Turnabout Goodbyes, and next time when we come back, we are going to start on the actual final case and the bonus case, Rise from the Ashes. And yeah, this one is definitely going to be very long. If I had to take a guess, this is definitely going to take us somewhere between 4 to 6 sessions. Maybe even 7. I can actually see it also reaching to 7, but we'll just basically wait and see what will happen, because I know the very first investigation is very long. Long enough to where I think that might be the only part we'll actually do in the next session, so we'll just see what happens. But until then, this has been Sakura Diesel saying thank you all so much for watching. If you have enjoyed this Ace Attorney marathon where we finally finished Turnabout Goodbyes, hit that like button. And yeah, pretty much once we get started streaming Rise from the Ashes, that's when the parts of Turnabout Goodbyes will start being uploaded into the YouTube channel. Anyway, and speaking of games, if you guys got any games you want me to try out, leave them in the comments right at the YouTube or on my Facebook page. And also hit subscribe so you can see more Let's Plays and games coming up real soon on the channel. Or if you guys like movie and TV show reviews, check out my main channel where I mostly do that. Or check out Bon and Barney's co-op channel, Review Bros, where we review movie and TV shows together. Which again, we got a brand new podcast coming out real soon, so probably by the time that these Ace Attorney parts, or at least these Turnabout Goodbyes videos, comes out, first episode might be out already, or at least we'll be close enough to finish it. So who knows? But anyway, yes. This has been Sakura Diesel with my two good friends,
Bonnie, also known as Bonnie.
and ESM, who's still passed out on the couch over there. So, anyway, but yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next, and again, final and bonus case of Ace Attorney Rise from the Ashes. So, till then, take care, everybody, and goodbye.
Bye, folks.